camp, and I got a hold of him, and he skipped camp to come over here today. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, because goodness knows I couldn't speak on the Oregon Constitution, being from Ohio. Okay, they're dragging me up here again to talk a little bit about our progress throughout the state. Now, is anyone familiar with the Mandatory Speed Limits Act of 1974?
Yeah.
A couple of you. Excellent, excellent. Made all the speed limits across the United States 55, essentially. And this is one of the first times that the states actually, since the Civil War, essentially, stood up to the federal government. New Hampshire, they said, okay, if you oppose us, if you don't institute this 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, we're going to take away your highway funding. New Hampshire kind of looked at the 3 miles of highway and went, whatever. And then eventually, state after state after state followed them. The speed limit is no longer always, and all around the country, 55. Okay, so this is the state standing up. This is the most states standing up to a federal law since the Mandatory Speed Limits Act signed by Richard Nixon. So this is in January. Or come back to the beginning. Okay, so this is in January. This is how many states are standing up. Green is action started. That means we're talking to state representatives, working with them, and they're listening to us. Orange means a bill is introduced. You got Michigan, South Carolina, Texas, and Nevada. Blue means it was signed into law but does not provide adequate protections, aka the state kind of stands there with its hands in its pockets while they do it anyway, or it doesn't, it misses a little legal loopholes, whatever. And red means state complete. That is not yet done in this country. Oregon, hopefully, will be the first. You guys got some competition around the country, but you got a good leader. All right, let's see. As this is from January to April. So let's keep going. One more.
Wow.
One more. And one more. Okay. In 4 months, fighting the NDAA state legislature, this is what happened across the country.
Good job.
Yeah, good job.
I had a lot of help, that's for sure. And so, although these state bills did not, some of them are still in limbo, some of them didn't pass, etc., etc., the very fact that they were introduced in a state legislature is insane. The very fact that some of them passed committee, Indiana passed the floor even. In fact, the Colorado legislation failed by 1 vote.
Wow.
1 vote. Okay, so we're making some very, very serious progress around the country. I'm going to have Shane dive into the progress being made in Oregon specifically, but we are the cutting-edge civil liberties group around the country. We are starting to own state after state after state and really bring, and you see this map could not make it any more clear. You see state after state after state standing up and saying, no, we will not allow this, and if the federal government tries it, we will stop them from doing it because it is our oath to the Constitution that requires us to. So Shane, you now have Oregon.
Does it make the increase the speed limit or decrease it?
Are you talking
We
about
lost
the speed
you.
limit or the NDAA?
Oh, yeah, we lost him. We'll take questions after, as soon as he's done his Oregon piece. I love Q&A, it's one of my favorite parts. So we'll take questions. Colin, I'm going to drag him back up here. We'll take questions about all of our presentations afterward so that we can get into some serious question and answer you guys' concerns about the presentation.
So what we're doing in Oregon right now, of course we're trying to get something passed, but where we made progress, and that's what I'm going to go over today. Here's a picture of the state of Oregon, and we have all the counties listed. Go ahead, Shane. Coos County. Coos County is where we started. I was invited down there by Tom McCurgan of the Oath Keepers. When I became a PANDA Oregon State team leader, Tom got in touch with me, and he says, I'm going to talk to my commissioners about this. And I said, I'm going to be right down. And so we went down, we did an agenda item. And we got one of the commissioners to support us. 2 of them we're still working on. We got good support. We did a powerful presentation down there. Dan did an excellent job. And we're still working with the commissioners. Lane County, this county. Of course, we have everybody out here today, and thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. We have talked to 2 of the commissioners here in Lane County, very supportive. Very supportive. And one of the things they discussed with this issue is they wanted to see the political divide eliminated in Lane County on this issue because they knew it crossed boundaries. And I know we got a lot of different groups out here. We got conservative groups, We got some Occupy members out here. And when I approached the commissioners, and we got a lot of coalition support, mainly from the conservative side right now. But one thing they said to me, and this, I talked to Pete Sorensen and Jay Bozovich. They're both, one's a Democrat, one's a Republican. And one thing they said to me is, let's balance this out here in Lane County. Let's get everybody on board. And they saw the issue as serious. They said that, no, we don't support this, we can't support this, and we'd be happy to work with you. Pete Sorensen has already wrote an email to our two state senators and Peter DeFazio, asking them to repeal this. Wyden wrote him back and said he'd meet with them. That's good news. So Lane County, we got action. We got support. We got our county commissioners working with us. Klamath County. Klamath County was refreshing. I dragged him out of bed at 3:30 in the morning. The day after he flew in, I picked him up at the airport, we traveled for 2 hours, did a 2-hour radio show. After that, we raced over, did a town hall meeting. We got a little bit of sleep, and then raced down to Klamath Falls, hit the public comment. The chair of the commission, after he spoke as long, if not longer, about this very subject. He was knowledgeable. Klamath County was refreshing. We did a town hall meeting there. We had 1.5 commissioners come out. One had to leave early. We had some great support. We had a work session with the commissioners this morning. It went very well. They're very receptive. They're prepared to take a stand. So Klamath County is on the map. Douglas County has some of our best support down there. We've did 2 presentations, 2 town halls. They're very excited. They very much want to do something. We're in touch with the commissioners. We have not met yet, but they know we're waiting. So what after the counties? We're looking for state legislation. We're looking to introduce a bill here, like you saw all the bills that have been done across the United States. And we're looking for a bipartisan supported bill and the next legislative session. And Lane County, as you see, it was blue right there. Thank you. Lane County, we're hoping to get some left support up here.
Yeah.
And that's why I invited everybody over here. That's one of the things that Jay said. Because we already got the bottom half of the state. We already got some state legislators that are willing to introduce a bill on the Republican side. One more time. And then what after that? Say we get something passed in state legislation. Anybody got some ideas?
Federal.
Our federal delegates. The resolutions we introduce,
The free trade agreements.
the resolutions we introduce explicitly state that once passed in the state legislation that they need to put pressure on our federal delegates to do something about this in Congress. But that's not all. We've only touched a few counties here. What about the rest? What about the rest of the communities? What about our sheriffs? We need to get them on board. We need to get everyone aware of the issue. Now I'm going to go over just a few things that everybody in the audience can do to help us, and to help yourselves, and to help your county, and the county commissioners. Here's the PANDA website, pandaunite.org. Please check it out. We got a lot of information. We got toolkits. We got sample legislation. We got kits for working with peace officers, working with your local sheriffs. We got all the literature you need. You got all the information you need. Please check it out. And right at the top, there's a red button that says Join Us. Click on that button, sign up. Your information will be forwarded to me, and I'll get in touch with you, and I'll do what I can to help you join this fight. Go ahead. Write a letter. A letter means a lot. When your representatives hear from you, they're your voice. So who's really in charge and doing something about this issue? Does anybody know? derives its power from who? The people.
Consent of the government.
Consent of the government. So you need to let them know. You need to say, hey, we don't allow this. This isn't America. This isn't our values. We need you to be our voice. You are there to serve us. And let them know. And call your representatives. Call them, talk to the secretary if you need to, set an appointment. You know, even if you just say, hey, I'm aware of this issue, I want to know what you're doing about it. What are you doing to protect our rights? What's the first primary responsibility of government? Does anybody know? Primary responsibility after they're sworn into office. Protect the rights of their citizens.
What a job.
Give a testimony. We've had plenty of commissioner testimonies going on, mainly in Coos County right now, and Klamath County, Douglas County soon, Lane County soon. Give a testimony. Come down, get up there, let your voice be recorded, go on record, make your stand, and tell the commissioners what you think. What you think, where this country's going, what they need to do. They need to honor their oath. They need to protect our liberties. And if they don't want to do that, then they're not doing their job. We need to get rid of them and get somebody else in office.